So, hey, obviously start off with a little statement here. I mean, obviously it's early, but it was a great day to celebrate Arizona basketball with all the events going on in the community. Obviously it's a special place, and and I've loved it since day one. But the longer I'm here, the more I love it, and it's been really cool. I mean, it is to have these former players, embrace the program like they are, and to make the effort they did to come here and be a part of this was really cool. I got a few minutes to go over and watch a bit of that Loot documentary premiere. You guys are going to be blown away. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys got to go see it, but I mean, it was really cool, and so just really proud to be here, and thankful for everything, and thankful for a fan base that's I could feel it really getting behind us. So let's get some questions and get Sheer over to Gentle Ben's. Let's go.
Just thoughts on alumni weekend and just bringing back former guys and just making it a day, like you said, to celebrate Arizona basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was a great job by our administration. I know Erica Barnes was leading the charge, with getting a lot of those former players back here, and you never discount Jack Murphy. I mean, I told him to quit working like a manager. I mean, he's doing so much and juggling so many things, and those guys did an amazing job. Kind of being, the rallying point to get all those guys to come back here, and it's just cool. I mean, it's cool. I mean, to have Raleigh, Da. Lowry, all these guys come back. I mean, those guys left a mark on Arizona, and I think we should, honor those guys every opportunity we get, and hopefully they'll continue to come down more and more.
What do you hope to get out of something like tonight? Is it more about celebration, fun, or you see people play?
Well, it's I mean, a lot of things. For one, I mean, it's great to play basketball in front of a full stadium, and you can't simulate that experience in practice. And first off, I want our guys to have a good time, and I want it to be a celebration. I know red blue games are hard because who do you cheer for? It's both your teams are playing against each other for the fans, and but I just like to see our guys under the lights and see how they respond, and we'll break this film down, and we'll treat it like we would any other post game. I'm sure there's going to be some really good things, and there's going to be some obvious things we need to get better at. I mean, obviously we need to get better at rebounding. We need to get better at taking care of the ball. But I mean, I think that's par for the course for this time of year.
What do you think about Umar's performance tonight?
I think Umar's going to have a great year. He's worked really hard. He's ready for this opportunity. And I mean, I think if he continues to work like he is, I think he's going to be a force in college basketball.
I asked him a little while ago about the play where he had the steal and the dunk. He said he wouldn't have been able to make a play like that last year. What have you seen out of just the transformation that he's made in his body and his game? Well,
it's the old body by rounds. That's what I tell him. I mean, Chris does a great job, strength and conditioning wise, and J-Rock does as well. In there, and he's probably going to continue getting a little bit better shape, but his mobility and his movements so much better than it was, and those guys deserve a ton of credit. But at the end of the day, Umar gets the most credit because he's the one doing the work.
What have you heard about them boxing? Apparently, him and Zeus box together.
Yeah, I mean, on pay-per-view. I didn't see that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're doing some stuff on their own, outside. I mean, I think obviously, it probably looks like a heck of a workout for cardio and for footwork and stuff like that. So.
With the bigs in general, I mean, without Christian around, you've got Umar playing better, it seems like, and Henry showing what he did tonight, and then Zoo coming back.
Well, you guys know I love bigs, and I'm probably a dinosaur in this deal now, where I love playing two bigs together. I mean, I think there's a lot of advantages to do that. Certainly there's some disadvantages, but I'm pretty comfortable playing bigs together and developing bigs. I mean, you can see our bigs. I mean, I'm sure, I don't have my glasses on right now, but I'm sure if I looked at the turnover column, our bigs probably had quite a few today, and that's normal. I mean, we let our bigs handle the ball a lot early in the season, and I think that's what allows us to move the ball the way we do, and we just got to kind of work the kinks out there. But I think those four are going to be a formidable force, and I was really happy to see Henry and Dylan has some success. I mean, they've had up and down moments in practice, this fall, like any freshman would. And, and to be honest with you, tonight under the lights, I thought they both, had some of their better performances that I've seen. So to me, that's really encouraging.
Did you see both of those guys playing together a fair amount, or just?
I mean, for sure. I mean, obviously, it's lots of things to figure out. This was day 4, but yeah. I mean, that's that's the hope. Is we have some versatility and we can mix and match lineups and play different guys together. And I mean, I don't know how much this year. I mean, Dylan and Henry, will be on the court together, playing meaningful minutes, but I definitely can see it a lot next year. I mean, and that's what I'm working for.
Specific to Henry, what does he bring to the table? Looks he can handle, obviously tall.
Yeah, I mean, Henry's he's obviously talented. And he's a great kid, and I'm glad he had some success today. Oh wow!
A lot of your guys playing overseas.
Well, I was going to finish this one here. So yeah, I think that Henry is going to have a real impact on this team. And, I mean, you look at a kid that I think he's going to be able to throw in some threes here and there. He's quick twitch. He's got a great second jump. He can catch lobs. He's got a high IQ. He's just going to have to learn how to tighten some things up and just physically develop a little bit and get some experience. But I think he's going to be a guy that in this system is going to put up pretty significant numbers some night. And I'm definitely excited about him. What do you got?
With a lot of your guys playing overseas throughout the summer, how difficult was it keeping in touch with everybody and trying to make sure that they're working on some of the stuff you want to while also playing further? Well,
there's this thing called WhatsApp, and so it's not hard to stay in touch with them. We're in constant touch with them, and but we did get I think with maybe the exception of Henry, we had a good chunk of summer with everybody, and Kerr really worked, and I mean, obviously his stat line doesn't look great today, but he really worked this off season, and I think he's I think you guys are going to see some real growth in his game, inside the 3-point line and stuff like that. And, along the same lines, Courtney really worked. I've really challenged him on finishing, and he didn't have great numbers tonight, but I'm not sweating that. I mean, if my concern with this team is Kerr Kriisa and Courtney Ramey, I'm sleeping pretty good at night, and so because those guys have been great all fall for us. So yeah, but I think those guys have I'm really challenging those guys to get better inside the 3-point line, finish layups. I mean, I thought Courtney had a really nice drive at the end of the first half. He just kind of, the layup didn't quite go in for him, but it was growth in the pace and the way he attacked it, and he's been making them in practice. So I'm fired up about those guys.
Henry talked about the speed of the game being the biggest transition for him from Europe to college. How do you think he's doing that so far?
I mean, I wouldn't put the pace of the game. I wouldn't put every NCAA team in the same category. Obviously we play fast, and it's a strength of ours, and it's the fabric of our program. So there definitely is an adjustment for any kid coming into this program. And I've been talking to Kylan Boswell. Like, you see the pace, it's real. And today, to be honest with you, was probably the most sustained, scrimmage we've done. I think with Tuesday we did maybe like a 10-minute scrimmage or something, and we've done some 5-possession stuff, up back. But just, the way we want to play and accumulate that pace and just have it kind of stack up on the other team, you need moments like this to get comfortable with it. And the next time we play, we'll all be sitting on the same bench. So, we'll be rotating in fresh guys, and we'll be able to keep that pedal to the metal. And to me, it's it's a great learning experience for the guys, and I think we're going to be able to comfortably play at the pace that I like.
How do you think Cedric has looked throughout the first few days of practice, and what do you think his role will be like on the team?
Cedric's a good player. I mean, he's experienced. He's he's savvy. He's got great instincts. He's had some really good moments for us and some really good days. I mean, I'm 100% confident. He's in the right place, and he's really, really going to help us. Over the course of the season. And I think he's just getting a little bit more comfortable, I mean, obviously, coming from Campbell to Arizona, for him, there's an adjustment too. And he's working himself through that, but I'm lucky to have him, and I love having him here, and I'm counting on him to do big things.
Tommy, I know we're pretty early on, but when you got ready for the beginning of camp, was there a message or a theme or a goal that you had for the team when you got them together for the first time?
Kick ass. I mean, that's what we're going to do. We're going to find a way. And, we're I don't come in usually with, big themes or slogans or sayings. And, I believe in letting those things organically happen over the course of the season. And, as those things come up, we'll rally around them. But, the main thing we've talked about is just, growing as a team and having unrelenting support for each other. And, I'm really confident that this team will have that.
Some of the newcomers that you're looking for a leadership role, and what have you seen?
Courtney's a natural leader. He's done a great job with that. I think as far as newcomers, I think he would be the main one. I'm excited to see, when Kylan gets to practice because I think Kylan's got a lot of natural leadership ability, and but he's going to be 17 years old. Let's see if he's comfortable, trying to lead. But I think leadership of this team, we're in a good place. I mean, between Courtney and Kerr and and Pella, it's solid. So, I'm not worried about that.
You've talked highly about Pella in the past. What jump do you expect from last season to this season?
Big one. He's been awesome. I mean, he might not have played good today, but he's been really good in all our workouts and in our practices leading up to this point. And I think he's going to be an all-conference type player, and I'm excited for him because he's a talented guy, and you can kind of feel it coming together. Last year, he might have been caught in between a little bit coming off that injury and just kind of figuring out, getting comfortable, and, he really cares, so maybe he has a tendency to overthink some things, but I think he's got himself through that. So, I'm looking for Pella to be a big-time player in this program.
Time for one more question.
Kind of like you did last year, in the second half, you put guys that were kind of projected starters on the blue team. Is that kind of the way it's playing out in practice? Or
I haven't looked at your projected starter list yet, Bruce. I don't know if I don't know if we're on the same page or not, huh?
Everybody.
But yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I love doing that because, you got to get comfortable. The guys that are, likely going to play a lot of minutes and play together, they got to play together. And I want them to play together under the lights. And listen, I mean, I know you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, the red team might win this scrimmage, and I don't know if the scoring's right or they didn't reset it. I mean, I'm not paying attention to any of that stuff, but I thought it was a great challenge for our guys when we're down 12 with 6 minutes to go to find a way and to dig a little bit deeper. Yeah, I mean, and you know what? And the first thing I told the guys after the game, we call them the green team. Some of the guys, that just, get a lot more reps in practice, but not many minutes in the game. I thank them because they played great and they had a great moment and they're really good and they really, really, really help us in practice. And so I'm glad that they. That Grant Whiteman made that three, and I don't know if I'm happy Jordan banked the three, but like he made the almost had that tip dunk. So those guys are great dudes, and they deserve some notoriety, and we got a great, maybe in my 24 years in college basketball, almost I can't think of many practice squads better than the one we got here at Arizona, and I think it's really going to help us this year.
Bringing it back to Courtney, with him exercising his 5th year, of course, coming to Arizona to prove that he's pro ready, what do you feel like he got to show in your system, and what things?
I mean, he's had a great fall. The conversations I have with Courtney are always this: let it rip, and maybe say a few other things in private that I can't say in the media because I love that kid, and I mean, his care factor is off the charts, and I love that he made me work to recruit him. I had to work to recruit him. That wasn't easy. I mean, but he's consistent. He shows up. He's got a great attitude, and I think Arizona is going to be able to put a nice finishing touch in his college career and set him up for that next step, whatever it may be. And I'm going to take it really personal to make sure that I try to deliver on everything we talked about when I recruited him. Have a good one, guys.